Hey guys, Brian with Buffalo Beer Reviews, back with something, entirely Buffalo related in beer, in the best way possible. And today we're going to take a look at a beer from Big Ditch Brewing Company, and it is their Bidwell Wild. If you guys aren't familiar with the Bidwell Wild sort of releases throughout the years from Big Ditch, it's a wild ale. It's been aged for 2 years, using leftover fruit from the Bidwell Village Farmers Market, Elmwood Village Farmers Market there on Bidwell in Elmwood. I like these beers. I tend to get them whenever they are released, even though they are a little bit on the pricier side. They are something wholly unique and enjoyable to drink, and I wanted to get it out there because it seems to be like this may be their last offering of the Bidwell Wild. I have a little release from Matt at Big Ditch. Says this is the third and likely the final release of Bidwell Wild, a wild ale brewed in collaboration with Elmwood Village Farmers Market. The beer will be released at our tap room on Friday, August 28th at 11 a.m. I left work on Saturday the 29th, and there was still an entire refrigerator full of bottles. If anybody is watching the review and like, oh snap, let me get down there real quick before they're all gone. I've usually have had a pretty good track record with Big Ditch beers not selling out super fast, which gives me a little bit more time to work full-time and overtime and still get can releases. Anyway, so it might still be there. A little bit more about the brew. It says the Bidwell Wild uses unsold fruit. The 2020 version features berries, peaches, and grapes from local farmers. The 2020 version uses fruit exclusively from Ertl Farm, a source of wild yeast and bacteria instead of brewer's yeast. The beer is aged approximately 2 years prior to sale in wine barrels from Leonard Oaks Estate Winery. The result is a sour and complex beer with fruit and berry notes. The 2020 version features red grape, strawberry, and other dark fruit notes, and is more like a robust red wine. Previous iterations of this beer. To our knowledge, this beer is the first to be sold using native yeast purposely collected from Western New York. And a portion of these sales will be donated back to the Elmwood Village Farmers Market. A little sad to see something wholly Buffalo and unique like this kind of stop. I don't know what the rationale is, what the reasoning is. I don't know if it's time, if it's price prohibitive. I don't know if it's due to the whole COVID situation and not having farmers markets and X, Y, and Z. Nonetheless, previous years I bought 2 bottles, and I would kind of do my tasting and my taste tests and my notes on the first bottle, so I could kind of give you a really in-depth sort of look and review into the bottles on video. I did not do that this time around, so I'm gonna go into this sight unseen. You guys are gonna see it just like me. And again, this is the Bidwell Wild 2020 version. This is a 5.8% ABV with 6 IBUs wild ale. It just, have the appropriate glassware. Let's see what this thing looks like. Very cool. I'll give my schnoz a little room up there at the top. So right off the top, you can see this is it's like this really great iced tea looking beverage, maybe brown leathery sort of good hue to it. Do you know what I mean? Wicked effervescent and sparkling bubbles in there. You know what I mean? Wicked. You do get that berry and that grape sort of presence, like a red wine sort of aroma. It smells sweet. It smells, barrel aged by all means. Say the grapes, you get hints of like that Chardonnay barrel. But you do also get these nice, sweet, floral notes. It's a little on the musty side too. It's all extremely, smells really good, and it makes your mouth water. My God, I'm trying to slow this process down and enjoy it a little bit. You know what I mean? So let's see how this thing tastes, right? Man, I'm super excited. Wild ale. How often do you get to see a brewery offer a wild ale? It's something to be held and kind of, you know, rejoiced upon in this day and age of hazy IPAs and sours. Wow. Well, if that isn't all sorts of unique. It does remind me of the last couple of years of Bidwell Wild releases. You know, these wild ales with the fruit base to them do kind of come across with a very similar sort of sweet and barrel-aged sort of presence. It's like borderline potpourri when you're kind of inhaling it when you're drinking. You get this really great, like, velvety smooth sweetness that kind of lends into this really complex grape and fruit and vanilla-y, like oak barrel aged Chardonnay presence. And there's so much to kind of wrap your head around and to describe that you'd think that I'm having a stroke trying to put all these words together. Wicked. None of these flavors that I'm describing are dialed up to 10, or nothing's outdoing one or the other. It looks the part of like a berry sort of beer. It smells the part. It tastes the part. Nothing seems to be overwhelming, especially like a barrel-aged wild ale. It's nice and well carbonated. It's light. It lends to this really great sort of bubbly sort of tasting sensation in your mouth. It's awesome. A good amount of tartness off the back end. I'd say it's a little on the light bodied for you know, a 5.8er. I'd say it's light bodied. It's fairly thin. It's got this really great tartness to the back end of it, but not a salinity sort of tartness. It's just an appropriate tart, like a berry would be tart in your mouth after you're eating it. All of the flavors sort of have this really great sort of real quick touchdown in your mouth, and they wash through, and you're not left with this strange lingering wild ale aftertaste in your mouth. It's a really nice clean wash through. Yeah, this is great. Let me see if there's anything else on the back of this bottle. There's my burp. Burp actually tastes fine too. That's the true measure of a beer. What does the burp taste like? There's really nothing else on the back of the bottle, so that's about it for me. I'm going to try to savor this wild ale as long as possible, even though this is not going to be a hard beer to finish. I really do want to take my time and just enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? So that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed a little look into something wholly unique and wholly supporting of the whole Buffalo culture of beer and local businesses and whatnot. So I appreciate all the clicks and the watches. You guys know that. And I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.